I remember one distinct situation where a big grant had been given and the various departments of health had come together and they had obtained a church in Brooklyn, and I had been invited to be a keynote speaker on the issue. Well, when I arrived, I discovered two things. Number one, there were not more than 2 clergy with 8 or 9 public health officials representing their area. But the worst thing about it was that the church had been obtained because they said this is a progressive pastor, and the pastor had consented. But even the pastor was not there. Almost as if, look, this is such a problem that if I even in a meeting to discuss what we can do, I might get contaminated. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? But here you are in great numbers. And I think you need to know you are a critical mass. Whenever the Lord gets this many people present and ready to be a part of a fresh initiative, building upon the experiences you've had in the past, I think something is going to change. I am the only preacher I know who gets excited just thinking about his immune system. Let me tell you, and listen, I got it, you got it too. Do you realize that when God made us, God was so eager that we would be able to enjoy life as long as we lived, so that God put in us a kind of a protective system inside of ourselves. And inside of each one of us, there is an immune system. When an invading microbe comes into us, there is immediately the gathering, like the church van outside, like a portable medical center. And for an example, when I get a knock on my hand, bang, and the cells are destroyed and may have the capacity to bring toxicity over my body. Let me tell you what happens. When the bang comes, then all of a sudden it swells up. And I used to say, oh my goodness, it's swelling up. Now I don't even say, oh my goodness, because I understand what's swelling up is that a team designed to deal with the problem has gathered. And it swells up to kind of make a little area where it won't be bumped anymore. And then, let me tell you, what happens is that certain cells come and take away the destroyed cells. And then another group of workers come under that big bump to go to work to actually give enzymes that will increase the growth of new cells. And then another set will produce cells that will make a scab on top of it. And the others will heal the flesh down up under there. And they go to work. And as their work gets very, advanced and there's a new production of skin there, all of a sudden it can go down because they dismantle the healthcare center that has assembled at this particular place. And you and I are well again. Oh, everybody please say, thank you, Lord, for my immune system. What I've been trying to ask, and I guess the health department people ought to be able to give me an answer. I know you all have done extraordinary research on why the bones are dead. you all have, I know you have had people from Georgetown and George Washington and from Howard and from American U and from the Commonwealth and from Catholic University to analyze why is there such a high incidence of AIDS in this city. And I really do want to know the answer. And let me ask you, is there anywhere where the report has been made that on the basis of research tells us why the level of infections is as high as it is in Washington? Somebody, I want to know that. I'm going to write it down because I haven't had a chance to read it, but I need to read it. Where is the report that's based on interviewing during the last year the persons who have just recently been infected? Where is the report that gives us the answer of at least 200 of these people about why they engaged in at-risk behavior, or why they, knowing what they know, or did they know, and if they knew, why they did not do something about it? Come on, folks, I'm coming down. Who has the answer to that? I need that answer, right? Well, I know, sir, where is that report? And is it a thorough report? And does it give the best wisdom as to why?
The best wisdom that we have is that, one, we have a lot of HIV in DC. That's the first step. And the second is the reason why people have not chosen to be safe about is because they don't believe that they are at risk for this disease, that it belongs to somebody else and doesn't belong to them.
All of us come equipped with a C factor. C factor. The C factor is a compassion or caring inclination. Well, metaphorically, when a society gets to the place that the compassion factor has become like low T cells, there's such a thing as a low C cell. Low C count. In Washington, D.C., there are certain pockets where the compassion count is so low that spiritually they are also at risk for losing their souls. What do I mean by that? Notice why I'm talking softly. Because it is almost revolutionary to say that the relationship between AIDS physiologically cannot be separated from AIDS spiritually designed. And therefore, there is a relationship, says Paul Tillich, my theologian. He says, our having and not having participates in other people's having and not having. When there is a debate in high places as to whether or not there will be health care for all God's children, when there is a debate about whether all our children will get an education, when there is a debate about whether we can find some jobs for these people hanging out on the corner, when the debate goes on and the decision is we can't afford it because we're fighting a war in Afghanistan, then Then we have in the community spiritual AIDS. It is an acquired immunity deficiency with respect to the compassion count. Let me close out. A preacher has closed out with something that sounds preacher-like, so here it is. I've written in the light of everything I said. Remember, there's power in the problem. And you and I are leaves of healing. And when we all begin to be leaves of healing, we're going to be able to make it. But there is an urgency about it because the figures are such that if we don't hurry up, we may get behind in this matter. So anyway, like my little rap says, listen, races and religions all self-contained. High blood pressure from too much strain. Why are our families falling apart? We went searching for pleasure, lost our heart. Hope and love in short supply. We got to find a purpose or else we'll die. Now, I don't mean to be uncouth. All I'm asking for is tell me the truth. What time is it, y'all? No time for foolishness.